Should I really bother with an f2 lens? Well, you know what they say, the blurrier the background, the better the photo. Who said that originally? I'm not sure actually. Maybe it was Ansel Adams? This is the brand new Viltrox 85mm f2 EVO lens. It comes in surprisingly small at only 76mm in length and only weighs 340 grams. My first thought when I actually picked up this lens was surely something as small and lightweight as this must come with a few trade-offs. Well, let's see what it can actually do. So to find out, I took this lens to Kamakura for a day of photography, so we can know for sure if $275 can really get you a decent 85mm lens in 2025. So if this is a wide-angle Pancake lens, yeah, is this like a portrait telephoto Pancake lens? It's a bit long and sticky-outy to be a Pancake in my opinion. Well yeah, but compared to most, it's pretty small. You listen here, it's not the size mate, it's how you use it. Arriving in Kamakura with its temples and midweek crowds, this was my first time shooting on 85mm lens in a few months, if not close to a year, and I got off to a good start with this EVO lens, creating nice layered shots with like out of focus foreground subjects and the environment in focus. But what about that f2 aperture though? Call me crazy, but just because a lens can open up all the way to f2 doesn't mean I have to use it. In fact, I almost never go to the widest aperture on any lens unless I'm shooting in a very low light situation. For me, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be closing down my aperture to f4, f5.6 and above, because I'd much rather have my subjects being sharp and not having the entire environment completely blown out of focus. And actually, for quite a few shots here in Kamakura, I was really enjoying having this slightly smaller aperture, having my foreground subjects out of focus but still distinguishable, and then having the environment a bit sharper. I found this was a bit more interesting rather than just trying to isolate subjects with a blurry background. I sort of relied on this composition style to be able to combat the different tighter spaces that we ended up finding in Kamakura. Much like the tight space I had to squeeze myself into that was my Japanese rental car. I used Klook to book this rental car a few months ago, so we can explore the Japanese countryside around Mount Fuji. I knew I wanted to explore more than just cities in Japan, so Klook really saved me on this one. The whole process was simple, and the price I got was cheaper than other comparison sites. They also have regular deals and promotions, which can help your travel budget go further. Not just for car rentals though, Klook can also help you when finding accommodation, booking your journeys, and keeping track of it all in one place. Klook is a platform designed to simplify the entire experience. Klook has thousands of activities and experiences in destinations all over the world, all in one place. And with support for over a dozen languages and 40 currencies, it's built to work wherever you are. So if you're planning a trip, check out Klook. Download the app today using the link in the description, and new users can use my code GeorgeHolden to save 10% at checkout to book your next adventure. Considering the 85mm isn't my usual go-to focal length, I really wasn't sure how to adapt my own style of street photography to this focal length in such a different environment. So I tried to adapt myself and my style to the field of view that I had available and the environment that I was shooting in. And I think I managed to find a little bit of a sweet spot by the end of the day. But of course, I couldn't ignore the cool cars that we had on display in Kamakura. Call me basic. As the evening set in, so did the tourists that came down to see the sunset, and so did the birds that were trying to swoop down to either catch fish or steal some scraps from some of the tourists. It was here that I really started to enjoy what this lens had to offer. I decided to actually position myself a little bit further back from the water and actually have a nice sunset as the background, our tourists sitting on the wall as the foreground, and then birds swooping up and down all around as the midground. And while I didn't get the shots that I was really trying to go for, which would have been a bird stealing something from someone like mid-action, or a bird carrying something in between some people, I still managed to get a few images here that I think really lent to the 85mm field of view. Do you think 85mm is long enough for me to shoot some nature photography? Maybe? I guess it depends how close you are to nature. What if I'm camping out in a bird hide, maybe? You might need something more like a 400 to 800mm. 800mm? That's 10 times the length of this. Do you think I can get one as pancakey as this one here? Down by the beach with our birds swooping in, I actually for the first time ever used my AI autofocus specifically set to bird subject detection. I've never done this before, I might never do this again, but hey, this was a good test for the Viltrox 85mm, and it really held up. I won't lie, in general I'm not a fan of using AI autofocus, I find it kind of frustrating, but that's a topic for an entirely different video. But regardless of my feelings on AI and AI autofocus, this combination with the camera and lens working together helped me capture some of these images when the birds were flying extremely fast in between people and behind them. The autofocus did not miss them and the lens more than kept up. It was only at the very end of the day as we head back to the car that we turned around and we saw Mount Fuji slowly poking its head out in between the clouds at sunset. And I had to quickly rush back with my lens and my camera to be able to get these couple of images. With Mount Fuji in the background, our vending machines in the midground, and a driver just filling in the foreground. But I actually preferred this one that I got first before the driver even arrived. Just a very classic Japanese coast scene with the vending machines and then Mount Fuji just mysteriously poking through with some beautiful light. And this really just epitomizes the entire experience of being down by the coast here. You know what, I've got plenty of reach with this lens. I just need to figure out the right way to edit my images. You could always try these Kodak film stock presets. Oh? Or these Fujifilm film stock presets. Or naturally filmic presets. Well, which ones should I get? Well, you can actually save when you buy all 3 packs together in the 3-pack bundle. Ah, that's convenient. And you can use this unique code to save an extra 20% at checkout. Okay, but are they any good though? Go read the reviews for yourself. I'll drop a link in the description below this video. So actually, that was not our only sighting of Mount Fuji that we've actually gone to photograph so far. Just a few days before we actually were taking out with the car, we took a trip on the train to the town or city of Fuji, on the south of Mount Fuji. And we went because the weather forecast said perfect blue skies and the Fujisan tracker website said we were going to have 10 out of 10 visibility. Only when we arrived at the train station, this is what we saw. Just clouds, and it didn't look super hopeful. But we were already there, we'd made the journey, and we only had to wait 2.5 hours for the sun to set at 4 PM because the days are very short right now. As sunset crept in, we actually head down to this little park that was just on the coast, then looking up north towards Mount Fuji, where we would have a perfect clear view of the mountaintop. So we had to just hang out there and hope that the sky was going to be clear and that we were going to have nice light. And as luck would have it, the clouds cleared just before sunset, and we only had one little wisp that reappeared as the light was going for the end of the day. We only really had a couple of angles to be able to play with from this perspective, but with the Viltrox 85mm, this made for a really nice composition with the kind of industrial foreground going on as well. A different view to what I'd always kind of pictured of seeing Mount Fuji, but hopefully this isn't going to be the only time that we properly see it, as we're going to be going somewhere a bit further north soon that should give us a different vantage point. So far in our short time together, we've already shot some cool cars in Kamakura, Mount Fuji, and some crazy bird action. So hopefully, me and this 85mm EVO lens are going to get on just fine. Personally, I think those photos you took would have looked better with a zoom lens. Give yourself some more flexibility. Yeah, thanks. Maybe next time. And as small as this 85mm lens is, it's not exactly pocketable, is it? I guess. Not like the lens in this video anyway. Oh? Oh, you haven't seen it? Well, you're in for a treat.